Hello, everyone. Do we have a packed house today? And do we have a fabulous show for you today? Coming to us live from Dallas, Texas, is Jennie Marie, the TLC star of Mama Medium. And without further ado, let's bring Mama Medium on. We're looking forward to this. Couldn't wait all week for this show.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hi, all my familiar faces. Hi, everyone. Hi to all the new faces. Thank you, Girls Night Live, for having me. I'm super excited to be a part of this and very honored that you asked me. So let me tell you a little bit about myself as Jennie Marie and then as an empathic psychic medium. What does that mean? So first, I am a typical relatable woman, I guess you'd say. I am married. I have a husband. I have 4 boys. So I'm a mom. I'm crazy. They're all teenagers, 18, 16, 14, 12. Someone please pray for me. Special place in heaven for a mom of 4 boys. So just normal, relatable, except I see dead people and I can see the future. So maybe not super normal-ish, but that's okay. I'm also a hockey mom, and I'm that hockey mom that will throw herself against the glass. My son is a hockey goalie. So if he's not listening to me, ESP, I'm a little angry and I'm banging, telling him to pay attention. Anyway, everything about me is a little eccentric. I tell everyone I'm built different, but that's okay. So let me tell you a little bit about, so being an empath, which probably more than you know are, it means that we can feel other people's energies, right? Have you ever walked into a place and been like, something feels off? Or when you've met someone and said, I don't know, just doesn't feel right. Trust your gut feelings, right? So that's our empathic part, is literally feeling it. And our intuition, it's part of all connected. Empathic, intuitive means trust it. If you ever get chills, I get chills when I'm right. Like I just got chills right now. So if you ever get chills when you walk in somewhere, feel something, trust that. That's you tapped into your gift saying, okay, I got this. Sometimes we feel over emotional or stressed out and we don't know why. And that empathic part is soaking in someone else's energy. So for me, the big joke is I can't go to the grocery store. There's so many dead people and so many alive people. So all the alive people have all this energy that comes at me and I'm like, oh God, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't feel good. It's not mine, it's theirs. And then the dead people are talking. But if you've ever left somewhere and felt like overloaded with emotions, or why do I feel this way? It's not me. Who was I just with? That's your empathic part. It's like, think of being a sponge and you're soaking it in. Psychic means I can see the future, right? Back in the day, you called fortune tellers. So the fortune tellers are now psychics, and that's the future part of our gift, which comes from past loved ones. And the mediumship part, so I have all 3, is that I see dead people. I know it sounds silly, but I love it. I say every day, thank you, super blessed on so many levels. And I always feel like, everyone says, how did you get your gift or were you chosen? I think we're all gifted on some level anyway, which we just talked about a little bit, but I feel like I'm really in tune with mine because I feel like hopefully in my readings and what I share, and you saw a little bit on Mama Medium. It was very emotional on Mama Medium. I think I'm pretty funny. And I feel like sometimes when we talk about these things, it's serious and I want to get to the point, but I want to add closure and healing in a way that maybe doesn't have to make us feel down, right? Because our past loved ones are still with us. They're still walking alongside of us. They're still giving us guidance. They're still there. And sometimes it's just knowing, are they listening? And it's funny because I tell my kids, when mommy passes, we're not going to cry. We're going to laugh and make jokes. I'm going to be super sarcastic. So I feel like if you're sarcastic here, you're going to be that way in spirit. So sometimes when you have to give a reading, you have to be real and say, this is what they're saying, and it's laughing and joking. So I feel like I have that ability and to show you like truly how it is on that level for me. I want to go back and tell you a little bit of how it evolved for me, because everyone always asks. So everything about me, which is very true for all of us, is numbers, right? I always feel that spirit gives us messages in numbers because it's a universal language. Everybody in any language knows numbers. And that's why we talk about angel numbers, 1111, I have chills. All of those things are true. For me in my life, it's sevens. 7 is always a transition for me. I was born 8777. Everything about my life is sevens. It sounds silly. But when I was 7, I saw my first dead person. I had no idea it was a dead person. We had a knotty pine door at my house, and I thought like one of the knots, it was a face. I thought I had an imaginary friend. I finally had an imaginary friend. All my friends had imaginary friends. I had an imaginary friend. But she didn't move. Like her face was just always on the door. And every night she would tell me to kiss my great grandfather. Now I was raised Italian Catholic. We saw each other 14 times a week. We had dinner together 3 times a week. We had just moved though. And so I kept saying to my mom, how come I haven't seen my great grandfather? And she kept, we live 20 minutes away. It's not the same, yada, yada. But the face every night would not stop, and it would never say anything fun. It was, make sure you kiss your great grandfather. I mean, this went on for probably 2 months. I finally approached my grandma, was like, listen, I never told anybody that the door talked to me though. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. And I just said, where is he? They eventually agreed to take me to him. He had an inoperable brain tumor and had several strokes. He could not speak, talk, walk, nothing. He was in the hospital. So they told me, they geared me up. I'm 7. They said, he can't respond to you. He can't talk. You're going to talk to him, and he's just going to smile at you. Well, I was raised that you don't see anybody or go to funerals or see anybody in the hospital. So when I got there, he was in a consultation room. And when I walked in, he started crying, and I got chills head to toe. I was like, what is happening? What's happening in my life right now? The face on the door told me I need to see him. Now I have chills, and this man is crying. They told me he can't cry. He died within 24 hours, and I never saw the face again on my door. That was it. It was over. Am I walking around at 7 thinking I'm a medium? No, I thought my imaginary friend just left with my great grandfather, and that's why I was supposed to kiss him goodbye. Speed up. 12 years old. I played soccer. I was on the way to a soccer game, close my eyes. I get very car sick, very motion sick. And I had this vision. It was like Final Destination. There was a bunch of us on the soccer field in a circle, and there was an ambulance on the field. And I was like, oh God, what's happening? I'm trying to talk myself out of it. Jennie, you're overreacting. You have a big imagination. I couldn't find myself in the circle. I'm like literally going through the circle in this vision. I let it go. Big imagination, whatever. So the soccer game comes, and I have never gone to the bathroom in the middle of a game. I had to go to the bathroom. I came back, circle on the field, ambulance, Chrissy broke her ankle. I cannot make this up. That's why I couldn't find myself in the circle. From that day forward, I promised myself any vision I got, I would listen to it. I just got chills right now. So that's when the whole psychic part came in. And then I used it. I didn't use it. That's a bad word. I noticed it. I mean, I'm 12, right? 12, 13, 14, way back in the 80s. No one's talking about, oh, you're psychic. No one's talking about that. So we just kind of like let it go. Fast forward a little bit, here and there things would happen. I would know things when I shouldn't have. The big joke in school was, not that I shouldn't have, but if you have a question, ask Jennie. She has the best advice, like those type of things. But again, we're never saying Jennie psychic can see the future. So I didn't classify myself that. I just thought I was grounded, I guess. I don't know. It was the 80s. You didn't talk about this back then. Plus I was Catholic. We didn't talk about any of this. So late 20s, I was in a marriage that was not great for me or for him. And I prayed every day because I was Catholic. And I said, if you get me out of this marriage, I'll use my gifts for good. It was the easiest divorce. Please don't take that the wrong way for people who've been divorced. I just was very blessed. And then from that day forward, I say, sold my soul to God, which we already, that's a whole nother show. But anyway, sold my soul to God. And so from that day forward, I was 29 years old. I vowed to help and heal anybody in a very relatable, calming closure. I mean, we've all been through crap, right? And we've all been through trauma. And I went through some family issues. And so I just prayed every day and said I wanted to get more grounded for my own self and for my kids. I was a single mom for a little bit. And then it just kept growing and growing, but it was very easy. It wasn't like, I feel like when people say they meditate, they don't want to wake up and see a dead person. Well, you're not going to, although that was a big fear of mine, by the way. It's more about what your intention is. Like, what are you putting out? I want clarity. I want to feel grounded. I want to be the best mom I can. I have chills. I want to meet my soulmate because I was a single mom. So those were my intentions for meditations. And as I was doing that, I didn't realize that I was raising my vibration and growing into my gifts, but I kind of wanted them in a sense, like, okay, I kind of surrendered, I guess I'd say. They're there. I know they're there. I have this history. Let's use them. And then I was meeting people at the craziest times who had just lost someone. And I don't know where the words would come from, or I just got chills now. Just hugging them. Think about sometimes just getting a hug from a stranger, right? Like makes your whole day or your whole week. And I swear that God was putting those people in my path all the time. And I was like, this is crazy. It's just happening. Easy. Like it was very fluid. And then, everyone asks how I got the show. I know it sounds cliche, but I believe it with my soul. I think I manifested it. So manifestation is a whole nother part of intuition and being grounded and meditating. So I want to tell you a little tiny bit about that. I had a dream. Maybe it wasn't a dream. Maybe it was part of a meditation that I was going to have a reality show. So I told my husband, hey, we're going to have a reality show. And nope, he had some choice words and said, no, we'll be divorced. I don't want cameras in my house. And I'm like, oh, come on, it'll be fun. I am an extreme extrovert and he's an introvert. And he's like, you'll ruin the children's lives, all of this. Anyway, time goes on, but it's still there. I'm still throwing out, like if I'm supposed to have this, show me, right? Manifestation is intent, talking it out, writing it down. I feel good. I feel this would be great. About a year later, I went to a group reading in Leroy. If there's anyone near there from where we're watching from, it was a couples reading, and one of the girls' brothers happened to surprise her and was there. And she said, can I add him? I said, of course. I walk right up to him. I go, we're going to work together. And he literally looked at me and said, okay, creepo. I was like, what? I'm like, I'm a medium. I'm a psychic. We didn't talk again. We went right into the reading. Afterwards, I came up to him, or he came up to me and he said, you don't even know what I do. I said, I'm a psychic. I don't need to know. He actually worked for a small television network in Connecticut. I left there. I called my husband, like, babe, I'm telling you, this is real. He's like, Jennie, I don't want to do this. I'm like, no, you don't understand. If it's put in our path, we're supposed to take it. I gave him the whole spiel, right? The whole spiel that nobody ever wants to hear. And we drove our family out there. We filmed a pilot. The guy gave us a deal, but I didn't like him. So I said no. And I took that guy that I met at this party, and he actually came to Rochester and lived with us for a little bit. We filmed our own little pilot. We manifested the camera. It was crazy, the things that we were manifesting and asking for, but when you're on the right path and you're doing right things, they just fall right in. So we made the sizzle for TLC. I walked right in there, and I remember my husband's like, are you nervous? I said, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. Regardless of the outcome, it felt good. And I feel like sometimes we don't honor when we feel good because we're always worried about the next thing. What's next? What's next? What do I do if I get it? What do I do if I don't get it? I try really hard to live in that moment. And obviously, so they were just pulling people in and I was reading them. I thought it was part of the interview, but apparently they liked me. We're just reading everyone. It was fun. Turned into a party. Had to tell this girl she had to break up with her boyfriend. Like, it was a whole thing. And obviously here we are today, but everyone asks, how did you get it? I'm telling you, I manifested it somewhere. I don't know how, why, or what, except it felt really good. And I believe in all of that. And I think it's all about intention and throwing it out there. So that's about me. So now let's talk a little bit about you and how you can tap into your stuff. Again, going back to being empathic, you are soaking in people's energies around you, right? You get chills, something's wrong, or you feel something is off. I always tell people, take a step back, ask yourself, is that my energy? Is that someone else's? Do I feel this way around this person all the time? Once you find out you're an empath, it's easier to maneuver through, okay, wait, that's not mine. I'll tell you this right now. Again, here's the relatable part. Maybe shouldn't be saying it out loud, but I'm going to say it. When my kids come through that door, if they're carrying some nasty negative shit, I'm like, light the stage. Somebody's got to light the stage. We are not keeping that in this house. And the kids have come to realize, my third son, especially, when he comes home and he's like, I don't feel right. He's like, Mom, can you light sage? I'm like, either he intuitionally feels that, or when it's been lit, he's felt the difference. And I'm like, I know it sounds crazy because he's 14, doesn't want to talk about it, but he's just like, he can tell that something's off. But I love that when you honor that, it's easier to figure out our emotions, right? And it's easier to figure out the positive in our life. Like, ooh, this makes me feel good when I'm with this person. This doesn't make me feel good. It's important to honor how we feel about that. And then the intuition part, right? Trusting your gut. I can't tell you how many of my clients say, I did this and I knew I shouldn't have, right? Or I knew I shouldn't have responded, or trust that. And here's the deal. You can't get better if you don't reflect. You can't get stronger if you don't honor that maybe now you know. And I always tell people, write it down. The easiest way to grow is to be reflective. And the easiest way to be reflective is if you write it down, right? So if you're writing down today, I against my better judgment, I went against this and this happened and it made me feel, remember, trust how you feel. It made me feel this way because then you won't do it again. Because not only is your mind going to say, you're going to try to talk you out of your intuition, but if you don't like how it feels, you're not going to do it. That's how you get stronger. That's how you trust it. When you jump into meditations, that was huge for me. That opened so many doors because all I wanted to do was ground myself, but putting out that intention, right? I want to be better. I want to be, just say, I want to be the best I can. I want to be, and wait to see how great it is, but then honor it. There's a lot of times where we think, I don't deserve this, or the bad is right behind it, or I'm nervous. Nah, live in the moment, because the more that you live in the moment and enjoy it, the bigger, better it gets. But meditation, another thing I want to talk about. I could talk about this for hours. Hopefully I have more time. So Peg, give me a little bit more time. Okay.
You're good.
Meditation is huge, right? Everyone talks about it now. Huge spiritual awakening since COVID-19. We've all sat home and reflected. Where am I? How am I going? How do I feel this way? Where do I want to be? I have chills. So meditation, it's not, do I sit every day Indian style? First of all, I'm a big girl. I can't sit Indian style. Not sitting Indian style. I lay down, I sit, I don't care. I'm not doing it for an hour. I'm not in any poses. My body can't handle it. I lay down where I'm comfortable and I am very active. And my number 7, I'll pick a 7-minute meditation. I listen to guided with earbuds. If not, I'm like, oh, I forgot to empty the dishwasher. Did anybody feed the dog? I forgot to send this email. I'm telling you, if you put earbuds in and listen when they speak, it gets so much easier. I have chills head to toe. And then put an intention into your meditation. So I would say, if I'm supposed to have a message, let me get it. And am I saying I'm waking up and getting, oh, that's the message? No. But am I grounding myself to have the clarity to hear the message? Yes. Or if I have a big decision, I'll say, I need clarity on this decision. And then I'll go into the meditation. And sometimes it's just literally grounding yourself to get the clarity. I may get the message later. I may get it in a dream. If you have vivid dreams, you're clairaudient, which means you probably hear voices. I do too. It's okay. So the thing is, your vivid dreams are really messages. Ask about them before you go to bed. Okay, if you're missing your mom or you're missing your dad, Mom, I'm really missing you. I really need clarity in a dream. You'll get it. They want us to acknowledge them and they want to guide us. It's all about the intention that you put out. I am a talker outer, so I walk around all day talking. I'm also big on thank yous. My kids always laugh at me because I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I walk around thank yous all day long and they roll their eyes, but I'm telling you, the more grateful you are, the more blessings that come. Plus, if there's something negative and you're a grateful person, 5 minutes later, there's going to be something to be grateful for. Does it take away the negative? No, but does it make it a little bit easier? Yeah. Sometimes I put out the intentions and I say, I'm not asking for anything today. I'm just showing gratitude. And I'm telling you, even those are amazing days. So I guess what I'm saying is we all have it. I just want you to tap into it, or if you want to, but why not? If we've been giving it, let's grow. It can help us on so many levels in our lives, that just trusting relationships, jobs, money. I mean, manifest away. I feel like there's so much at our fingertips that we haven't even tapped into yet that can get, I have chills, really strong, that can get us to where we need to be or want to be, right? It's all about where we want to be. But the meditation was huge for me. A lot of people use crystals. I'm working on getting better at crystals. I have one in my pocket right now, actually, that my son gave me, though. He likes when I do these when I'm on the TV. So I use it for him. But his intention was to help me be the best I can, right? And his intention was to let me know that he's with me all the time. So I carry it. Like, how cool is that? Like, that's such great positive energy. So I always tell people, the more you put out, the more you say thank you, your intuition will grow. The other thing too, I want to say, surround yourself with people that are intuitive or feel really good to be around. Because I believe when you put two or more intuitives together, you already are bouncing off of each other and your vibrations are already growing stronger without even trying, right? All of our auras, all of our essence. Like if I'm next to you, you want mine, I want yours. It's already getting so positive. We all know that feeling. We've been around people and you're like, oh, that was such a great day. Like even if you didn't talk about anything or you hated your lunch, it doesn't matter. You went to lunch with somebody that made you feel good. That's your empathic positive. Trust that intuition. Big, strong. What else? What else you want me to talk about, Peg?
Great. That's great.
Is it too much? Do I talk too fast?
No, not at all. Go for it. We got a few more minutes before we go into our Q&A session. So go ahead.
Okay, so we talked about manifestation. We talked about intuition. Let's talk about this. Okay. When people say, do I see a shadow in my house? Is that really someone? Yeah. Is it someone three-dimensionally like you think it is? No. But is it energy enough to get your attention? Yes. Here's my thing about that and signs. Cardinals. Ooh, I'm going to be honest about the cardinal thing. Linda, I can see your face. I'm going to be honest about the cardinal thing. I do not, this is just Jennie's opinion. Other mediums can tell you different. I do not believe that everybody who dies is a cardinal. I can't. Why isn't there 9 billion cardinals? I'm not going to be a cardinal. It's not my thing. However, do I think that you can get messages in cardinals? Yes, 100%. Do I think you can get messages in numbers, doves, birds, hawks, owls? 100%. Here's my take on the signs and the shadows. Why? Why did you get the message? I feel like sometimes we're just so eager to get a message, we don't think about why. To me, spiritually, when spirit comes through, they always say, hey, remember that feather? Or remember when I gave you that nickel? Or remember when the window broke? I want you to stop and say, why? Did you ask for guidance? Did you just make a big, huge decision? Is something life-changing going on? Because our past loved ones want us to say, I'm here, I hear you, I'm with you. I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in just getting the sign, it's not why. To me, that's huge. And once you figure out, hey, was that really you? Ask them again, push them. I need more clarity. I just saw 3 threes. Was that you? 3 threes means you're on the right path, though. It means a spiritual awakening. It's positive. But are you on the spiritual awakening? Did you ask for intuition? I think it's really important to ask why and how you get these messages. I just got chills because you'll create your own guide or vocabulary with your past loved ones and their guides to help us through this life, which I think is amazing on so many levels, right? That this happens. So yes, is that shadow a yes? It's not a 3-dimensional person and it doesn't have to be negative. I want you to ask yourself, oh, you know what? I haven't seen my grandma in a while, but I've been asking for help. So there she is. They're going to come in a way to get your attention. If Cardinals is getting your attention, then that's a yes. I just never see them. So for a long time, I was like, my deaf people hate me. And then I had to realize, wait a minute, Jennie, you're not like everyone else. Why would you get the same messages? I get 77s. My grandma died on 7/7. I get 77s. I was born in 77. She shows them to me all the time and I didn't get them before she was gone. So then I'm like, whoa, what changed? And I'll tell you now, if I ask for a sign, I'll see like 6 of them in a day. And I'm like, hey, got you. And again, as a medium, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I would want someone to tell this to me. If you get a message and you're not sure, ask again, push them. I need to see that again. Is that really you? Show me. And maybe it won't be the exact message, but you're going to get another one and you're going to say, okay, that makes sense. And this is a cardinal rule. No, I'm just being a jerk. Now I've just gone too far. Here's the funny thing. Wait, now I don't even know what I was going to say. Oh, nothing in life is coincidence. I don't care what anybody says. It's not. And even if you can validate so many times that was a coincidence, there's going to be times that you can't because it's not, right? So our mind is telling us it's a coincidence. But once you grab that it's not, wait to see how much at ease decisions are, or life-changing moments when you're like, whoa, that's a message. I got it. Or, I've been asking everyone, I've been asking mom, are you okay? Where are you? I haven't seen you in a dream. Maybe the dream is because you wouldn't see her right. Sometimes our subconscious takes over and doesn't let us see them because we think we're going to see them a certain way and they're not like that anymore. And sometimes when we grieve for a long time, our subconscious says, I'm not ready, even though we think we're ready. So there's a whole thing in there of when and why we get the messages, if that makes sense. Numbers are huge though. So if you're seeing triple numbers, look up exactly what that triple number means. Like 3 means spiritual awakening. You're on the right path. A lot of people see their birthdays. Oh, I got chills. A lot of people see their birthday. I don't believe that your soul starts over on New Year's. I'm sorry, I think it's lame. Your soul starts over on your birthday. So if you see your birthday all the time, you're on the right path. You are on the right path, especially for that year. So when your birthday comes again, you're starting a whole new cycle. And I want you to go back and think about this. Around your birthday, have you ever been like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Or all sorts of things start to go crazy. It does. It happens to me all the time. Not every year, but I'm like, oh, you know what? My birthday's in 2 weeks. It makes sense. I'm starting a whole new cycle. My soul is telling me to gear up. Pay attention to all of that. I know it seems silly, but once you do, you're going to be like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And your intuition's going to grow. You won't have to maybe ask for advice as much anymore. And another key thing is when you don't ask for advice as much is just validation. Know that your intuition's on point. When it comes down to you just need validation about something or this happened and somebody's like, oh yeah, that's right. I just got chills. Trust it. That means you're growing, you're doing it, you're rocking it. It's really important. It's a big deal.
Wonderful. So you're letting go of the doubt. You're accepting it.
Well, and it's hard, right? Because our mind wants to take over all the time.
Right.
I want to doubt it. But your soul's like, nah, let's embrace it. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Okay. We're going to end the live stream out on social media, and we're going to give them a few minutes to be able to come over to girlsnightlive.com and sign up if they'd like to come into Q&A after party. And we've got a lot of questions over here in the chat. So we're going to say goodbye to the live streaming, and that'll stop in just a second. We have a lot of questions for you. I don't know. I think we might have